Sarah Mitchell smoothed down her worn jacket one more time before walking into the upscale restaurant. Her sister had insisted she go on this blind date, but looking at the polished marble floors and crystal chandeliers, Sarah felt completely out of place. She was a single mother of 2 working double shifts at the local diner just to keep the lights on. Dating felt like a luxury she couldn't afford. But here she was, at 42 years old, sitting across from James Hartford, a man whose tailored Navy suit probably cost more than her monthly rent. He was younger, maybe 35, with kind eyes that seemed to study her carefully. The waiter appeared instantly, hovering at their table. Sarah's heart sank as she scanned the menu. No prices listed. That meant expensive. Very expensive. James ordered wine and an appetizer, while Sarah's mind raced, calculating how many hours she'd need to work to pay for even a salad here. When the waiter turned to her, she took a breath. "I'm actually not very hungry tonight," she said softly. "Maybe just water, please." James tilted his head slightly. "Are you sure? We could share something." Sarah felt heat rise to her cheeks. She wanted to be honest, but pride held her tongue. "I had a late lunch," she lied. The waiter nodded and disappeared. An uncomfortable silence settled between them. James folded his hands on the table, much like he did in business meetings, but his expression remained warm. "Tell me about yourself, Sarah. What do most people not know about you?" Sarah hesitated. Most men on dates wanted to hear about hobbies or travel, but her life was doctor's appointments, school pickups, and grocery budgets. "I have 2 kids," she began. "Emma is 14 and Michael is 10. They're everything to me." The words came easier than she expected. Emma wants to be a veterinarian. She brings home every stray animal she finds. And Michael, he's obsessed with building things. He made a birdhouse last month that was slightly crooked but so full of heart. James leaned forward, genuinely interested. "That's beautiful. You can hear the love when you talk about them." Sarah smiled, a real one this time. "They're good kids. Life hasn't been easy for them, but they never complain." James nodded slowly. "Single parenting must be incredibly hard." Sarah met his eyes. "It is. But they give me purpose. Every sacrifice feels worth it when I see them happy." The wine arrived, and James poured himself a glass. Sarah watched the deep red liquid swirl, knowing she couldn't afford even a sip at these prices. As the evening continued, Sarah relaxed, despite herself. James didn't talk about money or status. Instead, he asked about her dreams, her fears, what made her laugh. He told her about growing up with parents who valued work over connection and how he'd built his company from nothing. "I have everything, on paper," he admitted. "But sometimes I wonder if I've missed what really matters." Sarah understood loneliness. She saw it in his eyes the same way she saw it in her mirror. Some mornings, when dessert was offered, Sarah politely declined again. James didn't. Push instead, he signaled for the check-A's they stood to leave. Sarah felt a mix of relief and strange disappointment. She'd enjoyed talking to him more than she'd expected. Outside the restaurant, the autumn air was crisp. James walked her toward her old sedan parked several blocks away. She'd parked far to avoid the valet. "Fee Sarah," he said quietly. "I know tonight wasn't what you expected, and I know you didn't eat because you were worried about money." Sarah froze, embarrassment flooding through her. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I shouldn't have come. I'm not in a place to be dating someone like you." James stepped closer, his voice gentle. "Someone like me. I'm just a man. Sarah. A man who spent the evening with someone real. Someone who doesn't pretend. Someone who..." Loves her children more than anything. That's rare. Sarah felt tears prick her eyes. You don't understand. I showed up to a date with nothing. No expensive clothes, no impressive stories, just me. And me isn't enough for this world. James reached into his pocket and pulled out a small wooden object. Sarah recognized it immediately. It was Michael's birdhouse, the crooked one she'd mentioned. How do you have that? She gasped. I don't, James said softly. But you described it so beautifully that I could see it, and I realized something. That birdhouse is worth more than anything money can buy, because it was made with love, just like everything you do. Sarah's tears spilled over. James continued. I've met countless people who have everything and feel nothing. Tonight I met someone who has very little but feels everything. That's not nothing. Sarah, that's everything. The streetlight cast a warm glow around them. Sarah wiped her eyes. I can't offer you fancy dinners or expensive gifts. I know, James said, but maybe you can offer me something more valuable. Teach me what really matters. Show me what it looks like to live with that much heart. Sarah looked up at this successful younger man who somehow saw past her worn jacket and empty wallet. You really mean that? Every word. Over the following months, James and Sarah built something neither expected. He didn't shower her with money, though he quietly paid off her car loan and the kids' medical bills. Instead, he showed up, he attended Emma's science fair and taught Michael proper measuring. For birdhouses, he sat at Sarah's small kitchen table eating simple meals and laughing louder than he ever had in five-star restaurants. And Sarah taught him about richness that had nothing to do with bank accounts. She showed him how a sunset could be entertainment, how a homemade card meant more than jewelry, how presence was the greatest present. One evening as they sat on her back porch watching the kids play, James took her hand. I spent years building an empire, he said, but you've shown me how to build a life. Sarah squeezed his hand back. And you've shown me that being myself is enough, that I don't have to pretend to be more. Sometimes the best things come when we show up exactly as we are. Nothing more, nothing less, just our authentic hearts, and that Sarah was the richest gift of all. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more heartwarming tales. Leave a comment below telling us about a time when being yourself was enough. Your story might inspire someone who needs to hear it today.